Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming to the Manteno Village Board meeting for August the 18th. Would we please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before sitting, I would like to announce that Father Thomas Bennett is here to do the invocation. He's from St. Joseph Church.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord God, we are grateful for this opportunity to gather and work together. We ask for wisdom and clarity in our discussions, and for a spirit of unity as we seek to achieve our common goals. May our decisions be guided by a commitment to the greater good of our community. We are gathered here today with a sense of purpose and a desire to serve. We ask, Lord, for a clear mind and open heart for everyone in this room. May we listen with respect, speak with kindness, and work together toward a common vision. Help us to find shared solutions that will benefit all and to honor the trust placed in us. We are grateful for this time and for the dedication of everyone gathered here. We pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father.
Welcome.
All right, it's time for public participation. Oh, wait a minute. We need that back. The roll call.
Barry?
Yes.
Boudreaux's not here. Vaughn's not here. Crockett?
Yes.
Getzky?
Here.
Zimmelman? Here. And
Yes, I'm here. All right, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? How about the reading of the minutes? Are there any changes or corrections?
Yes, I'd like to ask for an amendment for a change that would be voted on at the next board meeting. It's under new business, a consideration, which was a motion to approve the forensic audit quote for $168,000. It was motioned by Barry, second by Vaughn. Boudreaux, Crockett, and Zimmelman voted no. It left out Getzky's vote. So it was a 3-2, but it was called a tie. So Getzky needs to be added to this consideration.
so, is it, okay, so on the,
Ed Geske.
It's under new business, number 1, the motion to approve the audit. Getzky's name was left out of the minutes.
All right, thank you.
So we need to amend that and vote on it at the next meeting.
Are there any other corrections?
Number
Or change-
2, ordinance 25-12, CJ's vote is not included in that one.
okay, so,
Is that it? All right, so you don't want to approve those minutes until next week, or next meeting. All right, public participation. First up is Ron Tibbs.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor, trustees. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Ron Tibbs, and I've lived in Manteno for 10 years, even though I grew up here in the 60s and 70s as well. I'd like to comment on the board's decision to spend $168,000 on a forensic audit. At the August 4th Village Board meeting, it was mentioned that our regular annual audit found situations where funds were moved from one account to another and back again at a later time. Village Administrator LaRock quickly, and I think sufficiently explained how that might occur. There was a project that looked like it would need additional funding, but in the end, came in under budget, didn't need that additional funding, so the funds were moved back to the original account. My suggestion, if it's not too late, is to scour the past few annual audits, take a closer look at any concerns you might have. There may be a less expensive way to see if this forensic audit is even needed. Quite frankly, I'm shocked at the lack of due diligence before we just vote to spend $168,000. My feeling is that there should definitely be substantial probable cause or significant red flags before we spend this kind of money for an additional audit. It was also mentioned that this board wants to start with a clean slate. I believe you are starting with a clean slate. You just got elected a few months ago. $168,000 is a lot of taxpayer money to just give a few individuals a peace of mind. As a village government, we should already have a solid system in place of checks and balances to prevent any kind of that kind of activity. I think we're all familiar with Dixon, Illinois, and what happened there. I do want to commend trustees Boudreaux, Crockett, and Zimbelman for at least asking why we need to spend this money in the first place.
Finish, please. Go ahead.
$500,000 was way too much to spend on the fishing pond. I don't even fish, but at least we have a fishing pond. For $168,000, there's a good chance we won't get anything but a 1-inch thick report that states that our village's finances are in order. So I'm asking you, Mrs. Mayor, to use the courage and leadership that I know you possess and put the brakes on this unnecessary expenditure.
Well, I'm sorry to say
Thank you.
it already is too late because it has been voted on. And in fact, the auditors were there today and they have begun the audit. So thank you for your opinion. We appreciate it. Francine Fatima?
Time is of the essence. When there is a thorn in your side, you react and get rid of it. That thorn is Goshen and has been for 2 years. Today, I looked back to a few village board meetings in the fall of 2023. Very heartening to hear Manteno residents taking the time out to explain why they live here and why they do not want Goshen here. These residents are justified in their concerns since the Communist Chinese Party is behind Goshen, and that's a fact. Americans are trusting to a point, but not with lying, cheating Chinese communists who are in the process of buying up our country. To have Goshen here within our town just to fill an empty warehouse is bunk. There's a lot more to its presence in our beloved village, I'm sure. I would like to see our Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to take action to not only get Pritzker out of our state, but to get Goshen out of Manteno. It was a bad deal that Pritzker made for Manteno. And we, in the concerned citizens of Manteno, want none of it. Thank you.
The next speaker is Jane Hill.
Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you for last meeting when they were considering the smoky barbecue going into a neighborhood, and the fact that you were willing to consider the neighbors. I live 2 houses down from the middle school, and as you know, there's an open house going on. We had cars parked on this side, we had cars parked in the little space between our neighbors next door, and trying to back in and out was quite interesting. So if you're wondering what it's like to live, I knew when I moved in, I had the middle school across from me. And I knew there was going to be traffic. I knew there was going to be games, there's going to be times the house would be challenging. But I would like for you to know, as somebody who has experienced what it's like to have that kind of traffic, if you're not prepared for it, it can be overwhelming. So again, thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sandy Chiz.
Hello. I just have a question, just one question, for Trustee Getzke and Trustee Crockett. I want to know what your personal evacuation plan is going to be when something happens at Goshen, when there's a fire or an explosion or whatever happens, because you know there's not going to be shelters available because they're all going to be in the evacuation zone. So I just would kind of like to know what you guys have planned, because you must have something, or I think you would have voted no. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob Forsythe's up.
You know, I've heard a lot about the forensic audit and the expense, and it is a lot of money. And I've also heard the part about the Goshen lawsuit is going to cost the village a lot of money. Well, if you think about it, why is that lawsuit here today? Because people here on this board never asked questions, never did their due diligence, and you can look at me, you can look down like that, but you didn't ask any questions either. And that's a big part. You have to ask questions. I mean, we've seen a lot already, but there's no need for the village to spend money on that either. But we are, because nobody asked questions. J.B. Pritzker never came down to see us. Tim Nugent and his Economic Alliance Board. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at him. And the Economic Alliance Board and the people that are on the county board that are on the Economic Alliance Board. They all knew. They didn't tell us. They never said a word about it. I mean, we heard some questions before about the liquor, and I mean, I heard more questions about the liquor than we heard about Goshen. You know, and I mean, I'm just kind of shocked at how this all works. That the important things we're not asking questions for. Now we got a bathroom we're going to talk about. Well, before you vote yes to put a bathroom at the square, ask yourself why the post office closes at 5:30. Do you know why they close at 5:30? Because people sleep in there, and they actually give residents a hard time when they go in there. And garbage cans haven't been used for garbage cans. I mean, we're spending more money. So if you want the village not to have any money, just keep spending it foolishly. That fishing pond down there, we didn't need that. Look at it today. It's an eyesore. It's not a pleasant sight. It's all full of weeds. I mean, we've had grass put in. Right, Chris? It's not grass, it's weeds. And we spent money foolishly. Really foolishly. And I don't understand. I mean, we talk about a raffle. That's more conversation than Goshen and the danger that it impacts into the village. There was never an environmental impact study done. I mean, we need to watch our money here in Manteno. We need to spend it wisely. And the forensic audit is a good idea, because it's going to open up the door so everybody can see what happened. Putting a cap on expenditures on a project. You need to have it.
Thank you, Bob. The next speaker is Denise Nicholson.
Good evening. Today's theme is morality versus hypocrisy. Last village board meeting's contentious ordinance was to allow alcohol to be sold 2 hours earlier with hopes of keeping the alcohol money sales here in the village rather than people purchasing liquor elsewhere. The high moral ground some of you heatedly argued over was Christianity, church, priests, shameful. I found the strong opposition over 2 hours hypocritical. Why, you ask? Well, if you're going to argue over 2 hours, Sunday, 9 or 11 a.m., why are the stores even open on Sundays? Gas stations selling gas on Sundays. I can recall a time when I grew up, and hopefully the future home of the Chicago Bears, nothing was open because in Christian terms, Sunday was a day of rest. Then came a 7-Eleven convenience store, the only thing open on Sundays for the forgotten milk, bread, butter, eggs. Slowly, Jewel opened half days, then full day on Sunday. Gas was now sold, and now even holiday stores are open. Why? For the almighty dollar. So to quarrel over 2 hours and use the church is hypocritical. because those trustees that screamed the loudest were the people who are also siding with CCP Goshen. I ask you, why not the same Christian outrage at Goshen, the CCP, and its inhumane treatment of the Tibetans, or Uyghurs, and Christians in China? Did you know China has one of the world's largest Christian communities? Chinese Christians must practice for faith either with strict party scrutiny or illegally. Under Chinese law, churches must register with the government and accept party-approved clergy. The Chinese flag flies over registered churches, which must surrender their membership list to the government, and allows the party to censor sermons and other teachings. At least half of the Chinese Christians worship in unregistered churches, but the Communist Party tries with fines, evictions, imprisonment, and outright destruction of these unregistered churches. Unregistered Christians have reportedly faced arrest, imprisonment. Some firsthand accounts even indicate unregistered Christians have been sent to concentration camps. There's more, but due to the time limit, let me end with this thought I had at the last board meeting. Why verbally attack a board member so vehemently in one breath, yet remain so silent when it comes to a company whose first allegiance is to our enemy, bylaws included? Morally speaking, you argued for alcohol temperance under the guise of Christianity, yet become silent while actively approving of a company whose country treats unregistered Christians and others so inhumanely. What happened to fighting as a Christian? That's where the hypocrisy for me is unexplained, morally speaking. I think you all really need to read this book by Senator Tom Cotton. It's bipartisan. It's 7 Things You Can't Say About China by Tom Cotton. There's a part in here that talks about how the Chinese are infiltrating local communities. And guess what? It's about us. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is David Bergdahl.
Good evening. Looking at the agenda for tonight, I see that Planning and Zoning has an ordinance with a variance for off-street parking and loading on Park Street. I'm confused. I have absolutely no idea why you would be doing this in that location. I please hope that whoever discusses this actually explains what's going on there and doesn't gloss it over, because I would expect that in a commercial district, not a residential. Likewise, this highway authority agreement between Manteno Laundry and Dry Cleaning and the village, again, I'm kind of confused as to what the purpose of that is, and I'm hoping that Mr. Crockett can fully explain to us what's going on there. And third, major activity for tonight is purchasing a pavilion kit for the square. I don't have a problem if you want to buy a pavilion for the square. No problem at all. My issue is every person I've talked to is telling me they're doing something completely different with this building. So I'm hoping that Mr. Geske can explain what's actually going to be done with this. And part of me thinks that one of the concepts that's running around is putting in a concession stand. Now, if I'm a business within a couple blocks of there, I'm not sure if a concession stand in the square on 2nd is a good idea. Concession stand at Legacy Park, run by the baseball and soccer leagues, makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's one of their major fundraisers. Wildcats football, taking over the concession stand, the new concession stand over in Legacy Park, makes great sense. It's one of their fundraisers. It's primarily being run while they're doing their events. Kind of at a loss as to the value of a concession stand for a park area right in the heart of downtown. Because I would think that there's got to be some businesses that are looking at this potentially as cutting into either their business or potential opportunities on their behalf. So, hoping to have that discussion. I'm hoping you've asked your Chamber of Commerce and your downtown businesses about that, because this is something I could see that potentially could create some unhappy downtown businesses. And finally,
Thank you, Dave. The final speaker tonight is Roy Hodges.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Father and the Knights of Columbus for putting on a wonderful chicken dinner this weekend. And I'm still trying to work it off, but it was fantastic. Thank you, Father. Next, one of the speakers tonight mentioned that that fishing pond was $500,000. The last I heard, which still keeps me awake, it was over $1 million. Wow, that's...
split with the township?
Yes, it is.
It's still $1 million. That's some awfully expensive fish. I can go up to Whole Foods and get fish cheaper than that. The next thing I want to mention is the talk about putting in bathrooms down here in the square. It's nice to have bathrooms anywhere, but we've already got porta potties. And what we don't have are smooth roads in the town anymore. We're putting patches on top of patches. You can walk right around here on 2nd Street, walk right down 2nd Street, walk into the square, and take a look at it. I was looking at it yesterday with Peggy Vaughn. There's cracked up asphalt all over the place, chipping, breaking in big pieces. How long do you think that's going to last? It's going to cost the village a bundle of money to maintain these parks they put in. They've already spent a bundle of money on a fishing pond we didn't need, redoing Main Street down here twice within 4 years, and eliminating all the handicap parking. I personally have sat in my car eating ice cream from PJ's and watched handicapped people struggle to get across to the next nearest corner so they could walk across carrying packages. They have to cross a lane of parking, 2 lanes of traffic, another lane of parking, and then to the sidewalk to walk to the post office or Yanni's, and I have witnessed this, or go to the athletic rehab place here. That is shameful. And we shouldn't be talking about spending a dime more until we prioritize things and see where our needs really are and what's important. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
Thank you. All right, reports of village officials. The first report is from the mayor, and the only thing I really have on the agenda here is to announce a block party on Whitetail Drive. But I don't know what the date is, and Chris, I did not see it in my paperwork.
Number 6.
Number 6? I must be looking at the wrong number 6 because I don't see it. What is the date?
Yes, September 6th, Saturday, September 6th.
Okay. And that's really all I have. So I'm going to ask for the village administrator's report.
I have nothing this evening.
Committee reports. Trustee Berry, would you like to go first?
Old business on the agenda, none. New business on the agenda, payment and bills in the amount of $291,594.01. Includes TIF number 3, $0. Bills authorized and paid between board cycles, $0. The next Finance Committee report, the next Finance Committee meeting will be Monday, September 15th at 5 o'clock in the Village Boardroom. That's all I have.
Thank you. Does anybody want to do the report for Trustee Boudreau? Can you do that? Planning and zoning?
I think I can take it. Ordinance 2513, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 12, off-street parking, loading, Section 9-12-5, location for property known as 323 Park Street in Manteno. Last week, this was heard before the Plan Commission. A variance request was put in. It was a unanimous vote in favor of it. There was no public opposition for this.
I can read a report on this. Daniel Gerber is requesting a variance to allow him to install a concrete driveway right up to his east property line. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on August the 12th, and no neighbors or public spoke about his request. The Planning Commission is recommending approval of the variance request.
Okay. Any questions or discussion that needs to happen from this?
Mr. Gerber did say that his neighbors were fine with it, they had no problem or issue with it, and he said that the reason why he's looking for that is because he's had two or three in the last 5 years hit and runs from parking his car in the street. He has a motorcycle, he has to drive on the neighbor's lawn to get out to the street, and the Planning Commission voted, it was unanimous vote for the decision to do that.
Okay. His next Planning Committee meeting is scheduled for September 10th, 7 a.m. here at the Village Boardroom. Next Plan Commission meeting scheduled for September 9th, 6 p.m. if we have anything on the agenda. That's all.
Thank you. Public safety, since trustee Vaughn is not here with some, okay, Mike?
Old business on the agenda, none. New business on the agenda, none. Public Safety Committee report. Next Public Safety and Committee Health meeting, Monday, September 15th, 2025, 5 p.m. at the Village Boardroom.
Thank you. Public Works and Utilities, trustee Crockett.
Thank you. I have one item on the agenda this evening. It's a motion to approve a highway authority agreement between James Gravel Revocable Living Trust on behalf of Manteno Laundry and Dry Cleaning, Inc., and the Village of Manteno.
I have something here I can read about that. That's okay?
I
Do you
thought
have
that's
it?
what I was supposed to do.
Do you have it?
I do.
Go ahead.
The purchasers of that property are working with the Illinois EPA. Apparently, there's some contaminated soil there, and this allows the village it allows them to access any contaminated soil in the village's right of way if needed. I asked Chris if he had anything to add to this. Does that pretty much sum it up?
Yeah, they've already done a cleanup on the actual property, but part of the process with the EPA is to expand the potential area of where contamination could be. So this gives them the ability to work in our right-of-way, probably initially to take soil samples and see if that contamination does go beyond their property. Again, this is just a process that they're going through with the EPA to make sure that all the chemicals are cleaned up.
How long ago was that property purchased by these folks?
I think it was about 2 years ago, and the initial cleanup was done prior to them selling the property. So,
okay. Thank you, Chris. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is Tuesday, the 26th. And Jim, do you have any updates or anything you'd like to add with anything going on?
Yeah, we should be seeing the MFT project starting in the next few weeks. We're supposed to have a pre-con meeting here in the next week, so you'll see some road construction going on in the village. Just maybe County Highway 9 update. It's slowly but surely. You see there's some utility work going on out west. They're relocating and adding some extra casing for the underground pipes, and so that project should commence thereafter. ComEd poles have been relocated, NICOR's getting relocated, so a lot of things happening. So we're kind of going beyond the normal summer construction road work era, but it's still coming.
Can you just give a quick update on the Leahy Circle storm sewer work? That hasn't started yet, correct?
No, it's still doing some engineering design work with that. I know Bruce had some of their HR Green reps out in the last 2 weeks. They were going in the backyards and verifying some of the measurements and everything else, making sure that we're going to get that project out for bid.
And we did discuss at one of the Public Works meetings that we're going to try and notify the homeowners that live on those properties that there would be work happening in their right-of-way.
Yeah, that's happened.
Or easement, I should say.
Correct.
Okay, good. All right, that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Properties and Recreation, Trustee Geske.
Thank you. I have Resolution 2504, a resolution to approve the purchase of a pavilion kit for the Square on Second from New Toys not to exceed $158,333.00. First, I'll talk about, we've been talking about what to do with Square on Second for better part of 3-4 years now, and have explored multiple different options, asked for opinions from the public. CJ Boudreau had asked numerous times and did a survey, and 3 things were the common theme. People wanted seating, they wanted shade, and they wanted restrooms. And what we're looking at doing here is to accommodate that. To address the concerns that Mr. Bergdahl said about the rumor that is going around that we're putting a concession stand. My response to that is that's why we don't trust rumors. Rumors are never facts, right? I'm not sure where that rumor came from. There will be no concession stand in this area. There's no need for it. The idea behind this is to simply serve our public, and we want our businesses to thrive here. And exactly what you said, Mr. Bergdahl, in the other locations, there's a purpose for the concession stand. The only thing I think that maybe someone may have misconstrued is during our preliminary discussions in our Parks Committee meetings, there was a drawing that showed the restrooms with a concession stand in front, but if anyone attended that meeting, they would have heard that we were eliminating that and adding an actual additional stall to each of the bathrooms for the men and women and removing that. So there will be no concession stands. Other than that, our next Finance Committee, old habit. Our next Parks and Rec Committee meeting is scheduled for September 10th, right here at the Village Hall at 7 a.m. And that's all I have.
Thank you. General Government, Trustee Zimbelman.
I have nothing on the agenda tonight. The next general government meeting is Tuesday, the 26th, at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of agenda items as designated by an asterisk for voting purposes on the consent agenda? The motion requires a unanimous consent of the village president and the Board of Trustees. Does anybody want to have anything taken away, deleted from the consent agenda? Seeing none?
Yes.
Yes?
Resolution 2504.
Resolution 2504, the resolution to approve the purchase of a pavilion kit for the square? All right. So should we take...
Can I ask a question about the bills?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question about the bill? Chris, on the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau, they are looking for $70,000 for their bill. My question is that the annual membership is $60,000, and then they charge us $5,000 for each hotel per year.
Yes.
The tax that we've generated for the hotels as of this year is $24,453. So what else do they do to the county? Because when I asked about this before, I told, well, they do a bunch of things, but they can't track it. They go to trade shows, they do this, they do that. I'm just wanting to understand why. Does every other village that's part of this pay $60,000?
Yeah, that was an agreement that they came up with that when Bradley backed out of the organization, it basically cut their budget in half. So this was how they were able to make that up so that they could continue to operate. The amount that you're quoting is actually only from May 1st until now. So that's just for this fiscal year.
Well, this says ending July 31st, 2025.
Yeah, so that's, again, just this fiscal year through the end of July.
Okay, yeah, 24,000.
Right.
And it says on here, to the right of there, it says fiscal year budget 70,000.
Yeah, correct. So
I
that
mean, I
goes...
just don't see, I get it, but I mean, like, what else do they do for us?
No, actually, they promote the entire county. It's not just Manteno. They promote all the localities. They basically put everything out there for the county. Certain businesses that are considered special events or things that draw people into the county. So they don't do a lot of advertising within the county because the idea is that they're trying to draw people in from other areas to come here. They do have a lot of statistics that they can bring in, and they had definitely, Nicole Gavin has offered if she would like to, or the board would like her to come to either a board meeting or a committee meeting and explain everything that they do and bring in the statistics to show you what they do, she'd be more than willing to do that.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Didn't she just meet with you, Mayor?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did talk about that.
She sent us all an email wanting to know if we wanted to meet with her individually, but I could ask her and put her on my, see if she's available for my general government meeting to.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, she's been meeting with all the new board members in all the communities that are participating in the organization.
I'll have to check my emails. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, sure.
All right, so a motion to approve by omnibus vote those ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained on the consent agenda as identified by the village president and board of trustees. So we did remove number 3, so here's what we're voting on. Consideration regarding a motion to approve a highway authority agreement between James L. Gravel Revocable Living Trust on behalf of Manteno Laundry and Dry Cleaning Incorporated and the village of Manteno. Number 2, ordinance 2513, an ordinance granting a variance from Title IX, zoning, Chapter 12, off-street parking and loading, Section 912-5, location for the property known as 323 Park Street, Manteno, Illinois. There is no awarding of bids or contracts tonight, but the consideration for the motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $291,594.01, including TIF number 3 at $0. I need a motion from the floor. To
So
approve.
moved.
Motion by Geske,
Second.
second by Zimbelman.
Okay. Getzke,
Yes.
Zimmelman,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
and Crockett.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, Resolution 2504, a resolution to approve the purchase of a pavilion kit for the square on Second from New Toys, not to exceed $158,333. I need a motion.
I'll
make the motion.
I have a question.
Question? Yes?
So the 158,000 is just for the building,
It's for the kit.
for the kit. That doesn't include the plumbing, the concrete, the electric. This is just the kit for the building. So when I asked Jim for a rough estimate, he said it was going to be around $112,000 extra for those other items, just to be clear. The 153,000 is not for the whole project. It's for the building.
That's correct.
Jim, do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, we spoke about that in the committee meeting. Public Works are going to facilitate a lot of the work, but yeah, we'll hire out a plumber, electrician. We're going to have heat and air conditioning in the building, so it'll be year-round use. There'll be some engineer work, utility relocation, so there's a little added cost beyond the kit.
So what is the rough estimate?
Like $112,000 to $120,000 in.
So the total?
additional.
The total estimate is for everything?
180,000, I'm sorry, 280,000 when it's all said and done.
So I just want to be, I'm not saying, I think it's a fine idea, I just wanted to be transparent. That the 153,000 is not the cost of the building.
Yeah.
I mean, you're adding another $130,000 onto it, and at the end of the day, I mean, we're kind of going back and forth on placement of this building and everything else. I'd really like to see it mapped out, staked out, so that we all could get a visual on it. Everybody that's part of the board. I think that would be a good thing to do.
We did discuss that at the Public Works meeting.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to see it mapped out or give the 2 options or the 3 options, because today I came back and I said something else about this, and then see the total cost of the project completed.
There were comments made to put it back in the corner, like the southwest or southeast corner, but I think that some of the board members thought it should be in the center of the park. Is that correct?
That's my preference, and with having the turf issues there, and it's my preference, but
Yeah, just like Joel said, it's going to be right there in the center of the square. The front's going to have the pavilion, and you could put a band under there in certain cases for events there. So I think aesthetically, that looks
But
better.
We also understand that this is more of a pavilion that's at Lucille Thies Park, correct, if I'm not mistaken? It's similar to that, right, Jim?
similar, a bit larger.
Larger.
But it's not any taller. So it's not going to be like something you see at the Grove or at Frankfurt or anything else. It's going to be a shelter like you would see, very similar to the American Legion with some bathrooms added onto it, correct?
Yes.
Legion Park? Good.
All right, there is a motion on the floor made by Zimbelman, seconded by Todd Crockett.
Point of...
Another question?
Moving back, we had a motion to take a single roll call, but we didn't approve that. We haven't motioned to approve those items that were on there. We just had a motion to take a roll call after the removal, so now we have to approve those items.
No, we didn't.
Did you take, did you do two?
We did that at the beginning, when it was taken off of the omnibus vote.
I thought it was, that it was removed, and then it was...
We removed an item, then we
Yes,
did a
and then we
motion
voted on the
to
other
take a
things.
single roll call, but we didn't make a motion to approve those items then.
Well, you said, well, the mayor said what you were voting upon. I mean, if you
Okay,
want-
as long as,
Yeah.
if
Yeah, and
we're
this vote-
fine with that,
This vote is only for number 3, Resolution 2504.
okay.
So the motion was made by Annette Zimbelman and seconded by Todd Crockett.
Okay, so Zimmelman,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Barry,
No.
Getzky,
Yes.
You need 4 votes, it's expenditure of funds. So if you vote yes, it passes. If you don't vote yes, it doesn't.
I'm going to vote no.
Okay.
wasn't that, you need
So
4
it does not pass.
No, you need,
We need a
there's an expenditure
quorum.
of funds, a resolution expenditure of funds. You need 4, you need affirmative vote of
for the same.
these 7 members. You need them.
So
If
we
there's
just
not 3
add it
votes,
again?
the trustees don't have at least 4 votes, then the mayor.
I'm voting no, so it does not pass. All right. Finally, the comments from anybody, any of the trustees. Mike
need to-
Berry?
School's starting back. Please keep your eyes open. Be careful driving. We don't want any accidents. Good luck to all the teams this year. Good luck to the schools. Wish everybody the best of luck. Thanks.
CJ, I know you just came in, but was there anything you want to say as a comment?
Yeah, sorry I wasn't here. I'm the head golf coach. We just got back from a match, so I'm sorry I missed the meeting. That'll happen probably in September, possibly too. I've kind of been listening in my ear as we were driving, so just want to apologize for I wasn't here. I'll talk to the trustees and the mayor afterwards, with what I missed. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Todd?
Yeah, my comment is I think this board and this entity here has a real lack of vision. We're voting for all these things. I'd like to know what we're actually in favor of. We're not in favor of nice parks. There's just a complete lack of vision here. What is it that we do want? We don't want businesses coming here. We don't want to add amenities for the residents of the village. So I'd like to know from our leadership, what is our vision, Mayor?
Well,
Where are we going with this?
A few years ago, we had $25 million in our general fund, and now we're down to a little over $8 million. So we're trying to be fiscally responsible and not keep spending like there's no tomorrow. And some things we may not need right now.
But what are you doing to bring additional business here that puts money in the coffers of the village?
Actually,
Are we just going to continue to not do anything and
I
fall
am not a
apart and
director
die?
of economic development, but I know somebody who is, and I would like to bring him on board.
Okay, now is
Because
that
I think we need economic development.
Is that person going to work for free?
No.
Okay, so you're
But we'll
talking about
discuss that.
spending money.
We will discuss that at a future meeting.
You're talking about a six-figure salary to
It
bring
doesn't come-
somebody in.
it doesn't come
To
for
be
free.
an economic person. What vision are we giving that person,
It may
though?
not be a six-figure.
What are we going to tell that person to go and do? Because all we're doing is saying no to everything.
Todd, I don't think-
What are we going to
Todd,
tell, what are we going to tell this
Todd, I don't
economic
think-
person? Mayor, I'm asking you, what are we going to tell this economic person that we want them to go after? What
Okay,
businesses?
we're willing to spend, what, almost $300,000, $280,000 to build a bathroom in that park and use up that space in the center of the
A
park.
nice amenity
We
that a
have
lot of
very
people in this
clean porta
village will
potties, and we
appreciate.
have the Leo Hassett Building, which could be opened up, which has 4 stalls in the women's bathroom and 3 in the men's. Why don't we make use of what we have
Okay,
before we
well,
keep
my
building more?
question was, you just mentioned
That's
bringing
why I
in an
voted no.
economic developer. As a board, what are we going to tell this person we want them to do? Because we have no vision. We're telling all these businesses, all these ideas, no. What, if you bring this person on board, and let's say we pay them 6-figure salary, what guidance are we going to give this person?
I think there's
Because we have
$90,000 in
zero
the budget.
vision.
I think there's money in the budget to hire another person. So my vision is to make Manteno the best it can be, but not to keep spending like there's no tomorrow.
The
I
day,
don't
the
think
day
we
after
need
you were
bathrooms.
elected, you were on WLS radio, right?
Could be.
And I heard you say you'd love to bring a Costco to Manteno.
I would.
What are you doing to bring Costco here?
Well, right now, there's no place for them, is there?
But what are you doing? Have you
I'm not-
contacted them?
I'm not a director of economic development.
Again, no vision and zero leadership.
Hey, Todd, let me ask you a question. You're in home building, right? If you handed someone this drawing for a home that's going to be built, and you tell them it's $150,000 for the kid, but don't tell them about the extra $130,000, what do you think they're going to say, Todd?
We
Maybe you should have
discussed
been
it.
at the Public
We
Works
discussed
meeting
it.
because that was discussed.
Hey, I
But
want to know,
down,
Todd,
down to
if
the
you ever
penny.
get disrespectful
And
to the last
sir,
mayor we had.
I'm
'cause
talking-
You did not. You were so
You-
disrespectful to her mayor. It's unbelievable.
All right, that's enough.
All right. Mike,
Todd, do you have any other comments?
We discussed this at the Public Works meeting this past week, and every dollar of what Jim just said was discussed.
It wasn't
And we were
discussed.
actually,
Then if it was discussed, why wasn't it put on the kit for $150,000?
because that's what we're purchasing, that's what we're authorizing
I had to call Jim Hanley
purchase.
to ask him for numbers, so why wouldn't you put
Mike,
estimated
it was
cost of build?
discussed at a
100?
public meeting. I'm sorry you weren't here to hear that, but it was discussed at a public meeting. Jim discussed those figures, okay? So because you weren't at the meeting, that's not the rest of the board's fault for voting in favor of something.
You're not being transparent to the resident.
It was at a public meeting, how is that not transparent? What,
It was a meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning when
yeah,
Mike had to go to work.
that was a public meeting that anybody
You can't
that
go to
wanted to
meetings at
come could
7
have been
o'clock in the
there.
morning.
Have 15 people from the audience? I don't, 7 a.m., Mayor, we all have to work though. too.
I know,
Yeah, and
I
we
know.
I have to go to work at 8. I can't tickle me at 5. As you just saw, I missed my golf match. So we all have stuff. It's what we work around. I mean, I'll try once golf season's over to move meetings, but we all have busy lives. We all have different schedules. We got to work when we got to work.
There's no-
And those notes are on the village website. So if we miss it, you can see the notes on the village website.
There's
What
no
you missed.
perfect solution, because we all have different lives.
And you can always, again, I'll say this too, you can always reach out to any of us and we will respond.
Yeah,
I
which-
haven't gotten any emails from the residents asking questions, but if they do, I would respond right away. So if you do have a question, please reach out to me. I will respond within 24 hours.
Absolutely. And again, my comment goes back to lack of vision and lack of leadership. That's all I have.
Joel?
Okay, first item, just, again, point of order, I don't know, the block party, do we need to vote on that for village approval?
We do.
So I will make a motion to approve the block party on Whitetail Drive. We didn't vote on that.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call.
Okay. Getzky,
Yes.
Simmelman,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Boudreaux,
Yes.
Crockett.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
No problem. As far as comments go, I got quite a few of them, but the one that I'll address with, I believe, was Ms. Chiz that, I'm sorry, it was Denise Nicholson had mentioned about morality and why we were fighting against the liquor license that we were. During our conversation, I believe Trustee Crockett said that we give them 9 o'clock, it'll be asked for earlier. And where do we stop? Well, I'm going to say that it's been 2 weeks since it approved, and we had a request for it to be moved from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And again, to the point of if we're not going to have rules and things, let's go 24/7. Maybe we ought to put that on the agenda from now on, and then we don't have to police it. We don't have to worry about special use permits for going, and we'll just have alcohol sales and gambling 24/7. I'm opposed to it. I'm just bringing it up that couldn't orchestrate it any better that Trustee Crockett said that if we give in to 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock won't be good enough, and it happened within 2 weeks. I thought that was a mistake. As far as the comments regarding the restroom and pavilion, not getting through because we didn't have enough trustees here for a vote, I'll ask to put that back on my next Parks and Rec Committee meeting and ask for it to be on the next board agenda as well. So, that's all. Thank you.
Trustee Zimbelman? I have a letter here that I would like to read that was sent to the mayor, all of us trustees, from a concerned citizen in Manteno. I watched the village board meeting the other night, and I want you to know I'm a concerned citizen of Manteno, but I am concerned about spending our tax money for vendetta-type items like the forensic audit and lawsuits. Mr. Greg St. Aubin, who for several years has been on the Manteno Township Board and worked with the village board, spoke up and felt a forensic audit would be a waste. He worked with our village and said everything was done in a professional manner. Later, the vote was taken, and it came to a tie. And Mayor Lamore broke the tie, and now you are going to proceed with this $168,000 audit. Those funds will be taken out of our tax money to resolve your dislike for the previous mayor board. I find it hard to believe that this audit is going to find abuse, misuse, theft of funds. Why do you think Trustee Getzke voted yes? Well, my common sense tells me he voted yes because he was previously in charge of the financial approvals, and he felt his integrity was being attacked by the new board members and the mayor. Obviously, you and the attendees that clapped are happy, don't understand why Mr. Getzke voted yes. He voted yes to clear his name and to put a stop to all these negative, hateful implications that have been made about the previous mayor and the trustees, like getting lavish second homes and cash. Mayor Lamore stated that a person from the firm that conducts the regular audit pointed out that the audit showed funds being transferred into an account and then taken back out. Mr. LaRocque addressed this issue and answered the reason that happened. Again, it's common sense. That's how a business is run. The money that's been previously spent has been improvements to our town. All our parks, 2nd Street, bike paths, golf carts, beautiful welcoming lighting, landscaping, entering our town. You all enjoy these things, and you accept the compliments from people about how nice our town looks. But you dislike the previous mayor board so much you can't see how ridiculous you appear by accepting these compliments that were put in place by the previous board and mayor. The people that you don't have one nice thing to say about. Well, spending $168,000 on this audit is nothing but a waste of our tax dollars. This is the beginning of your legacy versus the beautification of our town that was done by the previous mayor trustees. That's their legacy. Sincerely, a concerned citizen. So Mayor and New Freedom Party trustees, to sum it up, you are responsible for $160,000 plus $180,000 lawsuit cost and climbing, $340,000 in wasted tax dollars. Your legacy. And this was from a concerned citizen that got mailed to each one of us.
Your legacy leaves when you leave the door.
I have no comments. Motion to adjourn, please.
Motion.
Barry? Second?
Second.
Barry? Wolf? Getzke?
Yes.
Boudreaux? Crockett?
Yes.
Zimbelman?
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.